Wow, disbelief, absolutely speechless. Your boy DL47 all day for real, popping off as much rugby league information as possible. Special edition right now, review of the 2024 Grand Final. Penrith Panthers officially the third greatest team of all time, winning no less than 4 consecutive premierships. Wow. So you don't miss any essential rugby league information watching this video all the way through to the end, as per always. Wow. I just absolutely can't believe what I saw. I was lucky enough to have a ticket and attend this grand final in person, and Penrith Panthers, in their usual cool, calm and collected fashion, getting the job done in the grand final yet again. Previously they had lost the 2020 grand final to Melbourne Storm 26-20, well they took their revenge. They took their revenge winning this one, making it 4 straight. In 2021 grand final, they'd then beaten South 14-12. 2022 they'd beaten Parramatta 28-12. 2023 they'd trailed Brisbane Broncos 24 points to 8, before pulling off the most unbelievable comeback I've ever seen to win 26-24. And this time they beat Melbourne 14 points to 6 in their usual clinical, methodical, disciplined fashion. And they won on the back of their brick wall defence. A lot of teams these days just want to throw the ball around, try and score off every play. Well, Penrith just got through it. They got through their work nice and smoothly, nice and patiently, sticking to their process. You know what I mean? Believing in what they were doing, having ultimate faith in what they were doing. And for long periods of the grand final, defended their try line like a brick wall, only allowing Melbourne to score one try, which I think shouldn't have even been a try. So, let's just go for it one step at a time. Penrith 14, Melbourne 6. Coincidentally, shout out to the women's grand final, where Roosters had led Sharks 24-0 at half time before Sharks brought the house down, pulling off an unbelievable second half comeback. Roosters eventually clinging on to win 32-28, but not before Sharks scared the life out of them in the women's grand final. Final score, Roosters 32, Sharks 28, and the Roosters, Olivia Koenig getting the match-winning try for Roosters eventually, and Olivia Koenig, of course, the Women's Player of the Year. So props to Olivia Koenig and the Roosters, and props to all the Sharks girls for putting on an unbelievable grand final as well, which was before the main game, Penrith Melbourne. So, all year, Storm had blitzed the comp and had this brilliant attack all year, whereas Penrith all year just had been the opposite. They won games via their defence. They weren't trying to do razzle-dazzle champagne football like Melbourne. They just got through their sets. Got a good kick away at the end of the set, waited for the opposition to mistake before they got their points, etc., etc., etc. Tough, old school, no-nonsense football, which is boring, which is dour, but it's actually more effective than being razzle-dazzle, trying to score 7-8 tries per game like Melbourne do. And when push came to shove in the 2024 grand final, Penrith blunted Melbourne's attacking brilliance. Jerome Hughes, who was the Dalian Player of the Year, and rightly so, his attack was blunted, and he was ineffective. Cameron Munster was also ineffective. Ryan Pappenhausen was limited with what he could do. Harry Grant got Melbourne's only try, but even he, wasn't anywhere near his brutal best either. Penrith's defence just absolutely outstanding, keeping their try line intact for long periods in the game. So, like I said, like a dour dogfight, which is what I thought it was going to be. And eventually the first try was scored by Melbourne's Harry Grant, firing over from dummy half how he does, and that was actually pretty much directly in line with where I was sitting. But, right, this is where everyone drop some comments below. I'm sure the Storm fans aren't going to be happy with what I say in this video, but I say the honest truth. In my opinion, this should never have been a try to Melbourne. After Harry Grant had gone over the try line to claim this try, only about 1 minute before, up the other end of the field, Melbourne had deliberately stripped the ball away from Penrith in a more than one-on-one tackle, like in a two-player tackle. Melbourne had stripped the ball from Penrith, but the bunker hadn't sent it that way, where it should have been a Penrith penalty. The bunker then awarded Melbourne the ball, and Melbourne only got up the other end of the field and scored after they shouldn't have had the ball in the first place, after they deliberately, illegally stripped the ball. So that's why Melbourne's try shouldn't have even been a try, but it was, and it was converted by Melbourne's Nick Meaney, and Melbourne led 6-0. And this right here, this is my favourite thing about Penrith, my absolutely favourite thing about Penrith, with an absolutely disgusting call going against them. Most teams just would have complained, they would have blown up, they would have sulked, they would have felt sorry for themselves, and Penrith said, alright, it didn't go away, it's not going to stop us. We've still got supreme confidence, we've got utmost belief we're still going to win the game anyway, and only a matter of minutes later, Penrith scored exactly when they needed to. And that's the key point, is that Penrith, even though they only got 14 points, even though they only got 3 tries, which doesn't sound like much, they scored exactly when they needed to. Only a few minutes later, after having that disgraceful try go against them, Penrith managed to score for the winger Sunia Turuva. He went over in the left corner. Nathan Cleary missed the conversion and Storm still led 6 points to 4. And then, on the stroke of half-time, again, just when Penrith needed the score, it was almost like they were scoring at will. They were in complete control of the game, even though there was never a big margin in the game, and even though they didn't win by much, they were in complete, brutal control of the game, and they scored exactly when they needed to. And eventual Clive Churchill medalist Liam Martin, he went over to score in the right corner just before half-time, and Cleary converted for Penrith to lead 10 points to 6 at half-time. So again, Penrith scoring exactly when they had to. And Liam Martin had deserved Clive Churchill medal because he was absolutely outstanding. Cleary, Luai were brilliant, yes. There wasn't one bad Penrith player, but Cleary and Luai in particular were brilliant. They made a number of tackle breaks each per game and threatened Melbourne's defence all game. But in my opinion, Martin was the cream of the crop, was the pick of them, in my opinion. And in the second half, in the first half, Harry Grant scored the try that shouldn't have been one for Melbourne. Melbourne then thought they were ripped off when they had a no try in the second half. They had a situation where they put up a bomb and they tapped the ball back before the Melbourne player had got into the in-goal area, only to be held up by the Penrith defence. And the bunker eventually agreed that he was in fact held up. Now, with this one, remember, it had gone up to the bunker as a no try, so for it to then be a try, there has to be conclusive evidence to overturn it. Judged on the bunker replays, it was inconclusive, which means it has to stay a no try. And even if it should have been a try, the try that Melbourne did get through Harry Grant was never won, so it just evened itself out. And remember too, Penrith won 14 points to 6. So even if this one was awarded, it just means that the score would have then been Penrith 14, Melbourne 10, or if they converted Penrith 14, Melbourne 12, Penrith still would have won anyway. And then the key moment, midway through the second half, so even with all this drama going on front and centre, didn't phase Penrith, they didn't complain, they didn't lose concentration, they showed unflappable composure, and then eventually they scored the winning try in the most unlikely of circumstances, where Nathan Cleary on the last tackle just put up a regulation last tackle bomb, and then Liam Martin, the hulking second row of all people, leaping high to snatch the bomb out of the air. What's the second row doing? Jumping high to catch the ball. Throw it away miraculously to the prop, Moses Leota. What's the prop doing? What's the prop doing getting involved in razzle-dazzle attacking play? The prop, Moses Leota of all people, throwing a majestic cutout ball for the centre Paul Alomoti to then dive over it and score in the right corner. And that one not converted, but Penrith still led 14 points to 6. What on earth is the second row and the prop getting involved in catching a bomb and throwing a miraculous cutout pass away? How on earth does the forwards get involved in a try like that? Absolutely incredible. And Penrith, despite their dour, boring, no-nonsense approach, managed to pull off one razzle-dazzle try when they had to put them in front by more than a converted try, and I knew that was going to be enough for them to hang on and win 14 points to 6. They were in front by more than one converted try. It looked like Melbourne might get one late try late in the game, but it wouldn't have mattered, and they didn't anyway. And then for the rest of the grand final, Penrith just managed to just keep doing what they were doing, getting through the sets, getting the good kicks away, running hard, tackling hard, playing field position, playing percentages, and they just had to do that until full time where they eventually hung on and won 14 points to 6. Yeah, not a classic grand final like the 2023 grand final when they had to come back against Brisbane. Yeah, definitely not one of the most classic grand finals of all time, but yeah, I don't think any of the Penrith fans care at all because it is 4 consecutive premierships. Yeah. And like I said, I was surrounded by a lot of Penrith fans and they went ballistic. They were in absolute ecstasy, and rightly so. So now, when I say that this is the third greatest team of all time, there's only 2 other teams that have won more than 4 consecutive premierships. As we all know, St George won 11 straight premierships every year, 1956 up to 1966, so they're the best. Second best, you've got to go all the way back to the 1920s, nearly 100 years ago. South Sydney won the premierships 1925, 1926, 1927, 1928, 1929, 5 straight. So they're only the second team who's won 5 straight. 1930, South didn't win the comp, but then 1931 and 1932, South won again. So South Sydney actually won 7 times in 8 years, including 5 in a row. So only St George who won 11 straight, and only South who won 5 straight, have won more consecutive than Penrith, who've now won 4 straight. So there's never been exactly 4 straight premierships before, but now there obviously is. And while we're here, just to do it, even though I would have made lots of videos where I've said these specific grand finals before, just because we're here, the South scores when they won 7 times in 8 years. In 1925, South were minor premiers by a big margin, and under the rules at the time, if the minor premiers were runaway minor premiers, they didn't have to play finals, they were automatic premiers. But in 1926, like all the other final Souths did have to play finals, all the other years. 1926 final, South beat University 11-5. 1927 final, South beat St George 2011. 1928 final, South beat East 26-5. 1929 final, South beat Newtown 30-10. So that was the 5 straight premierships. 1930, it was West who beat St George 27-2 in the final, so South didn't win that year. But 1931, South beat East 12-7, and 1932, South beat West 19-12. So that's the second greatest team ever, South, from the mid-1920s to early 1930s. And the greatest team ever, St George, who won 11 straight. 1956 grand final, St George beat Balmain 18-12. 1957, St George beat Meaney 31-9. 1958, St George beat West 20 points to 9. 1959, St George beat Meaney 20-0. 1960, St George beat East 31-6. 1961, St George beat West 22-0. 1962, St George beat West 9-6. 1963, St George beat West 8-3. 1964, St George beat Balmain 11-6. 1965, St George beat South 12-8, and that was 10 straight. And 1966, St George beat Balmain 23-4, that was 11 straight. Before 1967, St George lost the preliminary, not the grand final. 1967, St George lost the preliminary final to Canterbury 12-11, so that was the end of their 11 straight premierships. And eventually it was South who beat Canterbury 12 points to 10 in the 1967 grand final. So there you go. The All-47's comprehensive review of the 2024 grand final, which I'm so grateful I got to attend. I got to see history made. Seeing Penrith pick up 4 consecutive premierships, that was absolutely unbelievable. Next year, look, they are losing a few players. They are losing Jerome Moore in particular. I think also James Fisher-Harris is going, and I think Sunia Turuva is going as well. They are losing a few players, but I'm definitely not going to write them off. I won't be surprised if they make it 5 straight. I'm not saying they will, I'm just saying they might. And if you're still watching all the way through to the end, thank you so much for not missing any crucial rugby league information. And thank you, as per always, for pungent, malevolent support. Boy all day, the All-47 Toodaloo.